Hello, I'm Sam,
I'm Matt.
and today we're reviewing,
Game of Thrones.
yeah, episode 3, I do believe. This episode being called a Queen's Justice, or the I think a Queen's Justice. So yeah, I thought this was a great episode. There wasn't any extensive fighting or anything like that. You can remember last week there was a big fight sequence, and this is kind of shows off that you don't really need that sort of gimmick to make a real strong episode. So you got Theon pulled out of the water and is looked upon with what can only be described as disdain, because he makes a statement. It's like, look, I tried to save her, and then his boys are like, yo, if you tried, you wouldn't be here right now.
Mm-hmm.
So they know he's whack because they just kind of left him on deck.
And doesn't everyone know he's kind of a coward anyway? So why is he pretending otherwise?
Out of shame.
I suppose.
He feels shameful for his actions. So
I don't know why. He would have died. I would have done it.
And then with big pace, we kind of we got the meeting that I'd say I've been waiting for. Jon Snow and Daenerys.
Yeah, they went right in with that, didn't they? I was fearing we were going to have to sit through an episode of Jon travelling to meet her, but
No, Game of Thrones don't do that. Game of Thrones is good. It don't mess about. So yeah, you got them arriving on shore. I like the stuff between him and Tyrion. You know what I mean? I like that stuff, like old friends, as it were, or acquaintances. You know what I mean? So I like their stuff. I thought it was good, like the dragons come flying by, and then Jon and Davos drop, and then all the other guys are just standing there like, what? You know what I mean? That was a pretty cool scene. I like that. So yeah, it's kind of one way that I guess I wouldn't say bothered me or stuff like that, you know, during the negotiations and stuff like that. I guess they're kind of. I guess I get where Daenerys is coming from, and I guess I agree to her claim to the throne. But you know, they're kind of stuck in a stalemate at the moment. I guess I'm not saying that Jon's denouncing her claim to the throne, as it were. You know what I mean? But
she should denounce her claim to the throne. Why should she have the claim to the throne? I don't really buy into it.
well, because she's the rightful heir, really. Before, like,
No, it's not though, because her father got overthrown.
yeah.
She's not the rightful heir anymore, is she? But they're all going to have some sort of claim, whatever it may be. I like the meeting began with
Well, really, no one else has a claim, because the only one who really has a claim, if you're going down that route, is Robert's bastard.
No, but that's
Gendry.
my point. No one has a claim, so they all have a claim. Everyone's going to make some sort of claim to the throne.
I guess.
That's
Well,
the show, isn't it?
yeah, but the thing is, Jon Snow don't really want the throne in that sense. Is like King of the North and stuff like that, and is on that business. And really, she's not down for that. It's like, I don't see why she wouldn't just be like, look, why don't you? Because really, she's going to be giving. She's already made deals with everyone else. You know what I mean? That whatever the Greyjoy girl's name is, that she'd be the queen of the Iron Islands and stuff like that. And obviously Tyrell in Highgarden and stuff like that, and obviously the woman down in Dawn. So it's like, so really she's being kind of, I guess that
I imagine it's because that was all done by her. That was her decision, rather than Jon saying, "This is mine, and you can't have it." She does seem quite, if not power hungry, then arrogant. That there was a funny beat when the meeting began with the whole, when her, I don't know what you'd call her, but the girl who was with Grey Worm kept announcing all these bloody titles that she has, and it was just, oh, Jon Snow, King of the North, and that was it. Which was funny. It also goes to show, like, Daenerys is really bought into this whole idea that she's some sort of goddess, practically.
I wouldn't go that far.
Really?
No.
mother dragons, but she's one step away from announcing herself as some sort of god.
Yeah, but
It's almost like Pharaoh.
these are all titles that have been given to her. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
the titles all show that she. I'm not saying she's wrong to go for them, but the fact is she sits there as while someone prattled on about how great she is. That's what the whole scene is.
Yeah, but she's done good stuff.
Well, she may do. I'm not saying she hasn't, but she's not perfect. But no one in this show is perfect. So she has her own problems. She's quite power mad, like obviously her father was.
Yeah, so I mean the breakdown in communications with them, but I mean they made a good point as well that really like this is the first time we've met and they don't know each other, if you know what I mean. So I kind of get that, but yeah, I was kind of like, oh, I want them to make a bargain, you know what I mean. So yeah, going from there, I guess you had Euron, I guess his name is, parading.
Oh, he's the best.
Parading the sand snakes, yeah, is definitely into it. It's kind of got the same kind of shtick, I guess, as Bran. You know, is very confident. He says what he wants and stuff like that, and it is a funny guy. You know what I mean? Normally, it was kind of left to Tyrion to make the kind of quips and stuff like that. So yeah, he kind of is bringing the sand snakes in. And it's just like he makes derogatory comments to Jaime about the Queen's, let's say, preferences. So
that's cool. The funnier line though, which I won't repeat for this. Oh yeah, well, it was in the show. It's when he called oh god, who was it? I think he was talking about Theon, and it's like a quick throwaway thing. Oh, what a twat! And he carried on going.
Yeah, that was good. Did you see his face when he jumped overboard? What a twat. That was good, yeah. So he's coming out with all the lines. So yeah, and I guess you know, they kind of make their thing that when the war's won, that he'll be able to get he'll be able.
Which you know he ain't getting. This dude's got a horrible death written all over him.
Yeah, but I mean, he's doing a lot of stuff though. I mean, he took control of that. He kind of got them quite quickly. So he's like the kind of guy who gets stuff done. So yeah, I'm intrigued to see where that goes. So yeah, he kind of poisons the sand snake and is like, and she's like, look, I'm gonna leave her in here to rot, and then you're gonna be stuck in here with her forever. I guess so. Yeah, that was a kind of punishment. If we move to Winterfell now, you got Sansa kind of doing her stuff. She's kind of fallen into the role, and she's like trying to get everyone fed up in terms of like getting food from the other things to kind of sort out everyone else. And then Bran arrives, which is kind of a big thing. Because I was thinking about you, because I think I said last time when Arya was like, I was saying when Arya was planning her kind of way up to Winterfell and stuff like that, they're gonna kind of miss Jon Snow, and really I kind of glazed over the point, but then I kind of realised in this episode that like Bran's the only one who knows really what Jon Snow's lineage is. So I mean, the fact he's arrived and is elsewhere, you know what I mean? And I guess it's only the kind of thing that he'd discuss with him. He's not going to say offhand to other people because he kind of knows that Jon's a Targaryen and no one else knows. So that'll be an even kind of bigger meeting when he finds his way back to Winterfell, you know what I mean? But I've got the feeling they're going to leave that for quite a long time. I mean, I don't get the merit of him being left in Dragonstone, but I don't know whether this is a big moment they're going to kind of build up to, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I thought with Bran, why on earth would he bring up Sandler getting raped? God, boy, talk about timing.
I guess it's one of them things that she's never talked about, so it's not like someone else has come and told him, so that's like to prove his ability, you know what I mean, to like talk about something that no way anyone else would know about.
I get that from a writing perspective, how you convey the character knowing this to another one, fine, but surely there's something else he could have thought of But there's your sister. Hey, remember that time you got raped? Yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah, but I mean, for the reasons I said, it was a kind of a big thing. So yeah, and then we kind of move over to the. I mean, you get to the Citadel, as it were, and Sam was kind of, he's cured Jorah, so that's all cool. So he kind of gets sent on his way. So I guess wherever he's gonna go, you kind of add the guy from the Iron Bank, Mark Gatiss. Can't actually remember his character name. So he's kind of discussing terms with Cersei, because it turns out that the kind of gold mines, I didn't really know this, but the Lannister gold mines are kind of dry now, I guess, and they owe a lot of cash and stuff a lot of gold, so really that's kind of up in the air.
Yeah, but didn't they say about they used to get a lot of their money from the Tyrells, or they were their richest allies,
Yeah.
which now assumedly they've got all of their money.
Yeah. So I guess when we kind of move on to kind of military moves, Daenerys allows Jon to mine the Dragonglass, so wherever that's going from there. Also, you've got Grey Worm. He's cool. He goes over to take Casterly Rock, because it was a little confusing what the kind of bits and pieces were. So yeah, and then Tyrion's like, I built towers in there so I could like secret passages in there in the sewers to sneak women in and stuff like that. So that's kind of how they attack Casterly Rock. They take it, but then it turns out that all the food's been taken out because they planned it. I mean, Jaime Lannister used the kind of thing that Robb Stark used when they were fighting. So they thought Casterly Rock's this big thing, and Daenerys sent her people over there, and then there's nothing there really. So now Grey Worm and his gang are kind of stuck there. All their ships get mullered by Euron, and you got Daenerys saying that she's planning to kind of go after Euron, but I don't really know whether she fully decided to do that. She was kind of up in the air on that point. And Jaime actually went over to Highgarden, took that, and then got rid of the old lady Tyrell. I forget her actual name. So yeah, in terms of the war, as it were, the Lannisters are doing quite well.
Yeah, and the thing at the end, when you mentioned killing Joffrey, was that meant to be some big reveal?
Yeah.
I always thought that was obvious.
Yeah, well, yeah, for us and stuff like that. But in terms of for Jaime and stuff like that,
okay.
Because I think Jaime and Cersei always thought it was Sansa and Tyrion. So now she's kind of confessed to it. Now I guess it's going to kind of ease the kind of burden between them and Tyrion, even though he's still kind of miffed that he killed their dad as well. But I don't think he'll be too bothered about that. But yeah, I think deep down he kind of did think that it kind of... I don't know what his thought process is, but I don't think it's going to change a lot for Cersei and stuff like that. She's still going to be all over the place, but I think for him you could kind of tell that it was kind of a big thing for him, because I guess in the back of his mind, harbouring all his resentment, I guess he always thought it was Tyrion.
Yeah, but didn't Jaime, to my memory, Jaime didn't like Joffrey anyway, did he? I know he's his dad, but
I don't really know what you could cut. I guess he was sad that he was dead and stuff like that, but I guess he was aware he was a bit, sadistic, as it were. So yeah, let's talk numbers.
I'm going to give it an 8.5. I thought it was a big episode. I thought it was interesting. I think I am all the more glad that we had the big action sequence at the end of the last episode, because this is an episode where you could have had that with, I guess, 2 battles or maybe a battle and a half, but we kind of skipped through it. I thought that was okay. I think having that big battle last week means you don't really miss not having one in this one. There was a lot of political movement, a lot of story movement. People have been dying for the Jon Snow Daenerys thing. I think that worked out well. Neither of them looked weak. Jon didn't bend the knees, and Daenerys still did her big on the Mother of Dragons thing. So I think it works out well. 8.5.
Yeah, there's also the kind of big moment between them where like Davos sort of drops it, he comes back from the dead kind of, and she kind of brings it up a little later, but I guess she's kind of not sure what to kind of think on that. I guess she kind of puts it down to whatever, so whether she pulls him aside and asks, or Melisandre, you had her in Varys and stuff like that, and she was like, yeah, I'm leaving, and it's like, I'm going to come back, but come back to die, just like Varys will. There's something else I was going to bring. Yeah, I guess in terms of going forward now, Daenerys has to make some big moves because I mean she's kind of suffered two, if not kind of in a grand scheme of things, three big losses now. So really, I mean, you could tell by a kind of plan to like start flying dragons around. You know what I mean? That really she's been forced to kind of she's going to be forced to do stuff now, big things. So yeah, I'll give it a 9. I thought it was a real good episode. There's lots of bits and pieces there that I thought were really good and solid. So yeah, that's my opinion. I'm Sam,
I'm Matt.
and we'll see you next week for more Game of Thrones reviewing.